Are you among the 1 in 3 adults who deals with high blood pressure? You might be taking medication and you might not even be aware of the symptoms. But if you are and interested in ways to naturally reduce your blood pressure, I've got 10 different suggestions for you. Now, this is not any medical advice for you. I want you to check always with your doctor if you have any questions or any thoughts about these ideas. And also, please just take the advice that's in the article, read it carefully, and make your own mind up. It's really important. But these are 10 ideas for you to consider. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I want to thank you, as always, for being here. Thank you so much for your time and for believing in us and supporting us. We write articles about all kinds of topics related to the aging process and aging beautifully. So this show is brought to you today, by the way, by International Living. International Living is a company that helps people to think about retiring overseas. So if you're thinking of retiring because you want a more affordable place, a place with a maybe warmer climate or just a different cultural experience, International Living has done the research. They've got people on the ground who are writing back and giving an update every year about what's going on so that you can make a great decision. So go out to internationalliving.com/60andme and just read their reports. They've got some great things to offer you. They'll send it to you free of charge. Just give them your email. And just if you're thinking of moving abroad in retirement, International Living is a company to think about working with. So here's some ideas for you to deal with blood pressure. The article was written by one of our bloggers, Sarah Brewer, and she knows this material really well. And I want to encourage you, before I even start talking about her ideas, is to go and look at the article. The link is below, because it's a medical issue, it's a medical treatment. It's very serious for many people, and I want you to take it seriously. Check with your doctor if you want to try any of these ideas, just to give you some stimulation for thought, and always check out the article and the research links too that she refers to. So one thing, of course, that a lot of people deal with blood pressure is related to obesity. And she points out something here, which is just losing half a stone can help reduce blood pressure significantly. So that's really, really important to say right up front. Easy thing that we have control over. And there's no negative or positive there. It's just losing weight in general, if you're overweight, is good for you. So why does blood pressure matter? Now, this is important because, it's like, why am I dealing with this? Well, Sarah explains in the article that basically, blood circulates throughout the body, and the pressure that it circulates throughout the body is in response to hormones, stress, all kinds of other chemical changes that are going on in your body. Even when you're at rest, your body is pumping the blood through your body. The arteries get a pounding. That's a lot of work for your arteries and the veins that your blood is pushing through. So the arteries do get a little weaker as we get older, and it's really a pressure on them. So sometimes people have more resistance to the pressure that the blood is moving through the body. So it's really important to keep your blood pressure under control. It's called hypertension. One thing that I was recommended to do by my doctor was to get a blood pressure machine at home. Those little portable ones that you can get. They're kind of a nuisance. I know who wants to be checking your blood pressure, but it's really important to know what you're dealing with, what your blood pressure actually is and what things might be affecting it. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the dietary things you can do that will raise your blood pressure, and how to watch your diet. Also stress. Stress has a very direct impact, according to the research, on blood pressure. So it's something to think about. First thing goes back to what I was just mentioning about diet, and that's the recommendation that you cut back on salt. Now, these 10 ideas that Sarah gives are not, they're not made up. I mean, they're all researched, and you can check them online. But salt is definitely something that constricts the arteries and is definitely going to hurt you if you're trying to deal with blood pressure. The thing about salt is it's hidden everywhere. It's in tomato sauce. It's in the things that you wouldn't even expect. I used to have a huge passion for salted butter. I mean, I love butter. I'm sorry. I know there's probably not the healthiest thing in general to be eating a lot of, but it's, salt in butter there's a lot of salt. And if you check the ingredients on the back of food products, you will find that the labeling is not always super clear. So, for example, I'm going to read this so I get it absolutely right here. If the label gives salt and calls it sodium, because labels sometimes do this, multiply it by 2.5 times to get the actual real salt content, which is sodium chloride. So if they just say sodium, you're not getting the true amount. It's 2.5 times that. So, you look at some of these tins of soup, and yes, soup's really easy to cook and it's very easy to prepare. But these tins of soup in particular are starting to do low sodium versions now, low sodium salt content. But see, there even I used it. Sodium is equated with real salt. So just be careful about that. Use all the other spices, peppers, the turmerics, the masalas, Indian spices. Those are great for you. But salt is a challenge in food. Another thing she talks about are some positive things you can drink. Like, I didn't even know this one, beetroot juice. I had trouble finding beetroot juice, but beetroot juice apparently is super good for you. It's got, and it's as effective as some of the medications, according to Sarah and her research, but they dilate blood pressure, and so it comes down. Raw beetroot's good too. Any of those purple plants seem really good. Blueberries, but beetroot juice particularly, according to Sarah, is very good for reducing blood pressure naturally. Another thing just generally related to food is the DASH diet. And it's called the DASH because it's dietary approaches to stop hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And these are very, very simple guidelines. The DASH diet is more vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole foods, fruits, fish, low fat dairy products. Do eat those, and then try to avoid things like red meat, cholesterol-rich foods, and sugary sweets, of course, and processed foods, white things, white food. And increase the potassium. That's another thing that your body really, really needs, according to Sarah. Nuts are great. They're a really concentrated source of protein, and they're wonderful to eat. However, they do have lots of calories in them. So don't do what I do and grab a handful of Brazil nuts, are my favorite, and start chewing on them. You'll be up to 600 calories before you know it, easily, but the protein's good, and what's in them is good for you. So hazelnuts are good. The butters, almond butter, hazelnut butter, the ones that you can put on bread instead of the high calorie, high cholesterol other products. Those are good too. Another thing, apple a day. I think I'm going to not get through all the 10 here, but apple a day is really true. It's really good for you. Apples have a great source of fiber, and having one a day is really good and has an impact on reducing blood pressure naturally. So that's a good. And the peel, by the way, eat the peel. It's important. Dark chocolate's okay in moderation. Coffee, cut back on coffee. I found this to be the case. I was trying to eliminate things from my diet that were causing high blood pressure, and I did a test with my machine at home, and I ate some chocolate, and it went up. Sorry, not chocolate, coffee, and it went up. Chocolate was good, dark chocolate, but coffee. Be careful. A lot of coffee can pump for certain people. I mean, all these things, by the way, are, as I mentioned earlier, check with your doctor, check with your nutritionist, because some of them don't affect other people. I mean, I'm one of these people that can drink coffee late at night and it doesn't affect my sleep. So it's just, we're all different. We're all different. Another thing that Sarah mentions, which I wanted to make sure I covered, was meditation. Do you meditate? Do you do any meditation? It's really good for you. It calms you down. It's, it's just a way of getting your blood and your whole body, just your heart rate, getting it down, and do it twice a day. It reduces your pulse rate, which does result the speed with which the blood is pumping through your body. So meditation is really a good one to consider, and one that's easy, no cost. You just sit, breathe. Another thing that Sarah recommends is using magnesium supplements. Now, I actually did a lot of reading on magnesium because I wasn't taking it, but it's actually one of these supplements that's not, so available in our foods. And you can get them in dark green leafy vegetables. I'm looking at my notes here. Dried fruit, whole grains, beetroot, dark chocolate. Those things have got magnesium in them. But there's a lot of research being done with magnesium now for sleep, for better sleep, and also just fatigue in general. that if you're dealing with these issues, talk to your doctor about this one, magnesium supplements, whether that's a good one for you. Sarah has the research. She talks about it in this article, but do check that out for you. Don't be taking supplements that we recommend just because. They're not right for everyone. They're not needed for everyone. Sometimes you've got your diet is enough, which is always the best way to get the nutrients that you need. So magnesium is another thing. So those are, I think I did get through the 10 of them. I think those are the ones that Sarah recommends you consider for reducing blood pressure naturally. Are you dealing with blood pressure? Are you on medication? How's it all going? Have you found that trying some of these things, maybe you've done it already, has actually helped? What have you found has helped you with your blood pressure? And of course, I would encourage everybody to do regular checkups and make sure that you're keeping check of your blood pressure, either with a machine at home or with your doctor. But how are you getting on with blood pressure? Be really interested to know. So again, thanks for listening, everybody. Don't forget, no medical advice here. Just take it easy and take care of yourself holistically. But hopefully these were some good ideas for you that might improve your overall well-being. So take really good care. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And we'll be back soon. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.